friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jenny. If you're new, thank you so much for joining me today as we tackle our to-do list together. I have a dinner to prepare for some company tonight. Now originally my daughter and I were gonna make the dinner together, but she ended up in tennis camp with a friend, so you guys are gonna be my company today. I need your help in the kitchen and we can do this together. All I need to do is tidy my whole house, which I did clean just a couple days ago, so it doesn't need a deep clean, but I do need to go through and just tidy everything and get everything ready to go. And then I need to prepare the meal and also the dessert. I also have an online therapy appointment, so that's always a priority. So I'm going to be doing that as well. Stay tuned because we are going to attempt to get it all done today. And if you need a little motivation to tackle your to-do list, I got you covered. I'm starting here in the kitchen by just clearing off all the counters from all this clutter from some shopping trips from the day before, and that way I can get started cooking. And the only thing I'm leaving out is the ingredients that I will be using to prepare the meal.
Gonna lay here on the grass. I don't need to feel lonely. I am finally home at last.
Now, whenever I'm having someone over for dinner, I love to have fresh flowers on the table. And mason jars work really well for displaying fresh flowers because they're not too tall, and so we can leave them on the table and still have conversation without them getting in the way. So I picked up some fresh flowers on my grocery trip to pick up the ingredients for the meal, and I'm just gonna go ahead and evenly distribute them into the mason jars, and that'll look really pretty on the table.
Of all the magic places in the world I've been to, this is where my heart is. Oh, you know it's true. No matter where I go, I'm coming home to you.
And if you find yourself new to my channel today, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for taking a little time out of your day to spend with me. I like to do cleaning motivation videos on my channel, as well as organizing and decluttering, and a little bit of decorating and a little bit of home projects. So if that's interesting to you and the kind of content you normally like to watch, and if you like what you see so far, please go ahead and subscribe. I would love it if you would join my YouTube family. So thanks so much for hanging out with me today.
Heart is, oh. I have seen many places where the beauty never ends.
And moving right along here in the family room, I'm just going to go ahead and freshen up the sofa, tidy up a bit in here. Like I said, I did just clean a couple days ago, so my house is clean. I just like to go through and tidy up and make sure that everything's straightened up for company and that the floors are swept, and then I'll go ahead and freshen up the bathroom a little bit later on. So I like to get some of the deep cleaning out of the way before I have to cook for guests, because I am not a gourmet cook. I will tell you that right now. I'm a very simple, casual cook just for my family, and then if I have to follow a recipe or get into anything like even mildly complicated, I'm totally having anxiety about it. So I just wanted to be able to focus on this meal today and do some light tidying.
Where I go, I'm coming home to you. Been walking down the street so many times, my feet know every brick and stone. Could wear a blindfold, no matter what I do, I'm coming home to you.
My husband's getting me ready for my teletherapy session. So here I am doing teletherapy, and I've been managing anxiety and depression for about 20 years now. And so therapy is just a really important part of my life. So I'm a huge proponent for therapy. If you need it, there's nothing to be ashamed of. It's a wonderful thing to have and a wonderful tool. And I thought I'd get a head start on the dessert, and if I do the dessert first, that means the oven will be free for me to cook the meal. So I am making raspberry crumble bars, and they're made pretty much from scratch, so you have to make the dough, and the only thing that's prepared in advance is the jam that I bought. But I bought a really good quality jam so that it would come out nice. And so here I am putting all that together. All of the recipes that I use in this video will be in my description box.
Of all the magic places in the world I've been to, this is where my heart is. Oh, you know it's true. No matter where I go, I'm coming home to you.
found this recipe really easy to follow, so it's definitely a repeat. You just put together your dough, and then you're gonna take 2/3 of it out and form that into the bottom of your pan and spread it out evenly. And then the other third will be mixed with some granola, and that's used for the crumble that goes on top after you've spread out all of your raspberry jam. And then it just goes right into the oven. So it was very easy for someone like me who's not comfortable with from scratch baking a lot, and it was very doable. So I would definitely recommend it. It also came out delicious.
I believe everything to be true. Oh, every little bit of my heart lights up. Oh, can you please tell it to never stop?
And here I'm just sprinkling a little bit of slivered almonds on top, which is the last step before it goes in the oven. Now it's time to do a little bit of cleaning. So I'm a huge fan of cleaning as I go. I do not like the kitchen to get all piled up on the counters and in the sink while I'm cooking. So I love to clean as I go. Here I am just getting everything put away that I don't need anymore, and then I like to wash the dishes from the right side and put them on the left so that when I'm finished all of my cooking, I can load up the dishwasher. Of course, I had to lick the spoon. I could not let any of that jam go to waste, and it was very yummy. Now it's time to peel some potatoes and get them ready for the scalloped potato side dish that I'm making. So here I am peeling the potatoes in the sink, and then I'm going to be slicing them into about 1/4-inch pieces so that they can go into the casserole. This casserole came out so delicious. You are definitely going to want to try this at home. Like I said, the recipe will be in the description box. My whole family, my guests, everyone that ate it said that it was their new favorite scalloped potatoes dish. This is one by Joanna Gaines from her Magnolia Table cookbook, and I totally recommend it. It was easy and it was so delicious. And this is the first recipe that I've tried out of her cookbook, so let me know in the comments if you guys have tried any other Magnolia Table recipes and how you like them. What are your favorites? Let me know in the comments.
I wanna save every moment now. Hold tight, my love, we got this one right. And if they ask us where we've been hiding, we'll just shake our heads. And when no one is listening.
And now I'm just heating up a little bit of butter, actually a lot of butter, and garlic in a pan, and just letting that completely melt. And then I'm adding in a little bit of flour, and that will turn it into a nice roux. And now I'm just adding in some cream and also some milk and giving that a stir. Now the potatoes are going into some boiling water and they'll boil for about 8 minutes. We just want them to be fork tender. They're also going into the oven, so we don't want to overcook them. And then next I'm gonna add some cheese to the roux, an 8-ounce block of Gouda cheese, and I'm gonna let that melt in as well. Meanwhile, my raspberry crumble bars are ready to go and they are looking pretty good, I have to say so myself. And so I'm setting that aside and then draining these potatoes so that they can cool a little bit before I put them in the casserole dish. And then after that, you simply pour the sauce on top and it goes right into the oven. Couldn't be any easier. And that's coming from a person who is definitely not comfortable in the kitchen. So I'm just gonna tackle these few dishes and get them put on the left, and then I'm heading into the dining room to tidy up in there and give the floors a good sweep. I'm trying to multitask by doing most of my cleaning when I have things baking in the oven, so that'll hopefully save time in the end.
Try my best to talk to you, tell you about the things I like to do.
I tell you, it always amazes me how I can clean my house just a couple of days ago and how there's so much on the floor. There's something about the way the dirt and dust accumulate on my hardwood floors that just boggles my mind because I literally just did this, a sweep and a mop 2 days ago, and I'm so amazed. Well, I guess amazed isn't really the right word. It's more like appalled at how much I collected in my dustpan. Wait till you see this.
Of you. Whoa, you wanna do it again? You wanna do it again sometime? Whoa.
So now it's time to take the scalloped potatoes out of the oven. And I'm so glad that I filmed it when it was right out of the oven because you can still kind of see it bubbling. And you guys have to promise me to try to make this. Like, promise me to make this. It is so delicious. I promise you will not regret it. It is so yummy. And then I have these raspberry crumble bars. So that's what I have made so far, the scalloped potatoes and the crumble bars. We still need to make a few more things before we are done. But of course, my husband had to taste try it, and I told him to be honest, and he said it was delicious. So there you have another vote. And here I am making an iced coffee, which I don't think I could get through a day like this without at least one iced coffee. Now this part is just adding a few ingredients into a saucepan, some shallots and some seasonings and some vinegar. So I'm letting that kind of condense so that the liquid evaporates while I set the table. And here I'm just placing some table mats and some plates down. By the time I get back to the kitchen, that little sauce has condensed and I can go ahead and start the béarnaise sauce. So this béarnaise that I'm making is like a take on béarnaise. It's a béarnaise mayo. So we're basically just going to be putting all these ingredients in the food processor, and then you add the oil just a little bit at a time to create a mayonnaise consistency so that it will emulsify. And then once I've got it all emulsified and in there, you add in that shallot mixture that has condensed, and that has the tarragon in it, which makes it more like a classic béarnaise. And that will go alongside of a beef tenderloin that I will be baking in the oven. Now, I will be completely honest with you. I did not care for this béarnaise mayo. It was just not my cup of tea. The tarragon flavors were a little too strong for me. It was too vinegary. It was kind of too acidic. So this is just my personal opinion. It may be delicious, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna link it in the description box along with the rest of the recipes just so that you can decide for yourself if you wanna try to make it. I don't think I'll be making it again because I just didn't really care for it. But everything else we cooked, I absolutely loved. So to prepare the beef tenderloin, I'll start by just patting it dry, top and bottom, with paper towels. Once it's completely dry, I will brush it with some melted butter, and then I'll season it generously with some sea salt and black pepper. And then it's gonna go in the oven, and it's gonna be a slow, low cooking process. So the menu will end up being beef tenderloin with béarnaise sauce on the side, and then we will have the scalloped potatoes, and then I'm also going to do some asparagus, but I didn't show that in the video because all I did was steam some asparagus. That is simply all I did. The béarnaise sauce accompanied the asparagus as well as the beef. So, and then we had our raspberry crumble bars for dessert. So even though you don't see me do the asparagus, I do add that as a side. I didn't want to steam it until right before my guests arrived because I didn't want them to get cold, and so I was already done filming by that time, and I didn't want to get the camera right back out again right before they came.
Hey, I've been thinking about you and all the words that I'm gonna say the next time that I see your pretty face, 'cause I can concentrate anytime you're beside me, yeah, it's what you do to me.
And now it's time for some more cleaning. So I'm gonna work on getting these dishes over to the left. I'm gonna spray down my counters, and then I'm going to unload and load the dishwasher so that all these dishes are out of the sink for when my guests arrive. And if this video is motivating you to tackle your to-do list in any kind of way, please do me a huge favor and hit that like button for me. That helps my channel so much, and I really appreciate it.
It's what you do. It's what you do. I can see you in front of me. All I do is close my eyes, and you're just standing there with your perfect smile. All I do is close my eyes. It's what you do to me, making my head spin in circles, and how you move with your body's giving me purpose. So just quit my job, stop wasting time, I'm spending my days with you.
And now that the sink is cleared out, I'm gonna go ahead and clean it out and scrub it out really well.
It's what you do. It's what you do. It's what you do to me, making my head spin in circles, and how you move with your body's giving me purpose. It's what you do to me.
And moving on to the hall bathroom, I actually have to stop and hang a mirror real quick because this mirror was over my fireplace, and I decided to put it in this hall bathroom and move the bigger mirror that was in here to my master bathroom. So please excuse me while I do that real quick. And I'm using this Everspring glass cleaner to go ahead and clean it. And I'll actually be using that on the whole bathroom today because I just disinfected it a couple days ago. I'm really just spraying it down for dust and making sure that it's clean inside the toilet bowl as well.
It's what you do.
How many smiles does it take to be happy? How many times do you have to feel lonely before you get the chance to meet someone? Before you get to meet someone like you? How many songs can you write about heartbreak? How to go on when you're fed up with mistakes? Maybe I just found the answers. Maybe I just found the answers in you.
And here's a sneak peek of the beef. It is not quite done, but it's getting there and it looks delicious. And I'm not removing it from the oven until my guests arrive, and then I'll wrap it in foil and let it rest for 15 minutes before serving. Just lighting some candles on my table and I think I am all set to go. The kitchen needs a good sweep because that is the last room that I finished using, and so I'm sweeping it up right before my guests arrive, and then I need to go freshen up myself. Thank you so much for spending so much time with me today. I appreciate it. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to click on one of my videos. If you're new to my channel, it was wonderful to meet you. Thank you for stopping by. And you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next video.
Take me away. I'm okay if I got you. We don't have to stay. We can do what we want to. Just give a little bit of your heart. Give a little bit of your heart to me.